Across the millennium years is crunch time in this whole agenda, crunch time for the human race. This is the time when this network of interbreeding bloodlines wants to bring in its global fascist structure of a world government to which nation states would be administrative units, of a world central bank and a world currency, a currency that wouldn't be cash, it would be merely electronic, for which there are fundamental implications for human freedom. And also the world army, which is designed to be NATO, expanding and expanding as it is now, of course, to become the fully fledged world army, world police force. And underpinning that little lot is designed to be a microchip population, in which we are microchipped with our financial details, our medical details, etc., etc. And that would allow not only electronic tagging, people knowing where we are all the time, it would allow the external manipulation through this electronic means of our mental and emotional processes.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
The technology is based on answering one simple question: am I who I say I am?
This will happen unless the human race wakes up and wakes up fast. And to do that, we need to understand what's really going on. And to let people know that, we've got to stop beating about the bush, stop pulling punches, stop pussyfooting around, keeping information from people, oh my goodness, how will they react, and just say, this is going on, take it or leave it, make of it what you will, but this is what's going on. And some of the information you're going to hear now is quite horrific, but if we don't know about it, what can we do to stop it and to change it?
Moments to you, my friend, to me many, many years ago. This is where I pulled you across time, but in my time, my past, your battle ended like this. It was your final battle.
Let me interrupt you. The stories dump in the ocean, chop up the bodies, these things, they sound like they can't be happening. Ted Gunderson, respected law enforcement professional, recently or retired now from the FBI, former regional director of Los Angeles. Do you, sir, believe that these dreadful allegations of babies being sacrificed are true?
I absolutely believe it, without any doubt. Based on the information that's been given to me across the country by numerous survivors and by confidential sources and informants.
They began to understand that if you could systematically traumatize someone, particularly before the age of 5 and 6, then you could turn their mind into a honeycomb of self-contained compartments, amnesic barriers, which were unaware of the existence of the others. And if through hypnotic keys, triggers, words, signs, whatever, you could pull one of these amnesic barriers to the front to become the conscious level, that could experience something or be programmed to do something robotically, and then that compartment could be pushed back in the mind and another one pulled forward. Now this new one has no idea the other compartment exists, let alone what it's experienced or what it's been programmed to do.
I have a puppet that I want to show you. This puppet has a big mouth with teeth. People must not bite other people, but if they ever feel like doing that, they can play about it. When I was a little boy, I used to play a lot with puppets like this. I played a lot about my feelings. In fact, playing about feelings is a great thing for people to learn how to do. And many children are very good players. Make-believe is a kind of play, you know? So let's just have some make-believe.
All right, the movie's called Towelhead. It's from that best-selling book. It's a very controversial new film about the life and the growing up and the horrors and joys of an Arab American teenager. Aaron Eckhart plays the neighbor next door who befriends her, but he's also a pedophile.
I'm drunk.
How would you know?
Because I feel so happy.
You think being drunk makes you happy? I guess it does sometimes.
Why do you like me?
Is he married too? I saw a wedding ring.
We are in the company of Aaron Eckhart.
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Boy, how do you make a character like that kind of a likable guy? Do you have to? Is that part of it or no?
Well, I think you have to, as an actor, to justify, the reason to do the film in the first place. I feel like you have to find some place in you that can justify his actions. But as an actor, it's difficult. It's difficult to listen to, actually. When I was just listening to that clip, but within the context of the story, I think it's important. It's something that people deal with all over the world, and so I did it.
So the girl who is playing this part, now she's 17 in real life, but she plays a 13-year-old, your neighbor?
Yeah, I think she was 17 or 18 when she did it, and but the audience, is looking at her as a 13-year-old.
Yes.
Okay.
And, I have to relate to her as a 13-year-old.
Wow.
So, especially when you're getting physical with her, those are more difficult days than others.
And there's a lot of that in the movie.
Yeah, this movie, my character's only one slice of the movie. There's a lot of other elements to the movie. She, Toni Collette's in the movie, Maria Bello, wonderful actors. There's a lot of, it's a movie about race and bigotry and imagery, a girl growing up in today's world.
And also a young girl searching for acceptance, searching for affection.
Yeah.
And getting it in many of the wrong ways, but it was also comforting to her in many ways at the same time. Aaron, a lot of people have had a problem with the movie. Some people walked out of the screening. They say it's too much. What do you say to the general audience? Do you give them a warning or what?
Well, I don't know. I feel like if people feel they need to walk out, then they should, But, I think the people that do stick with it will find that in context that it's a good story to tell. It's a relevant story. It's pretty much autobiographical. So, life is difficult. And I'm sure growing up as a 13-year-old girl in today's world is difficult. And I think kids today have a lot of choices to make and a lot of challenges. Some people would like to walk out on their life. But you can't, or you shouldn't. And as an actor, it's difficult to play these roles, but I think they have a place in cinema. And myself, I've gone through very difficult times in my life, and that's just a part of growing up and living.
Aren't these the roles, though, that you look for as an actor? I mean, you've done some great. Thank You for Smoking. Unbelievably great.
Aaron does not shy away from the tough stuff.
Yeah, and isn't that sort of what you want to chew off as an actor and really get into?
Yeah, I mean, for somebody, what I've been hearing about this movie is that people obviously dislike my character's actions in the movie, but they feel somehow that they feel some sort of sympathy with my character. And that's, if I was going for anything, that's what I was going for, to make him a real person, to have a heart. Not to justify his actions, but to make him a human being.
And it also seems that, it also seems that you make interesting choices. And like it seems, and I'm probably wrong here, like every other movie, every third movie, you do a blockbuster, mainstream, handsome guy, and then you do all the off-center
Well, I'd like to know in Dark Knight how they explained to you that you wouldn't have a face. How did they explain that when you first got the script?
Well, I mean, I was aware of the character. What the great thing about The Dark Knight is that they chose to show Harvey Dent so much of the movie. I was really appreciative of that, so I could show how Harvey Two-Face, came about. you know, these characters are just fun. I mean, it's hard for the audience to divorce me from my role sometimes, you know, because I do play unpleasant characters sometimes. But you know, that's the joy of it too. I think that audiences are, you know, continually want to be challenged, and they want to be, you know, they want to think and feel, and I think these movies help them do that. American cinema, you know, European cinema is usually the one that gets the reputation as being the smarter and the more sophisticated, and I don't necessarily agree. I think American cinema has a place, and we have a lot to explore here as well.